Sarah sat nervously at the edge of the park bench, her hands gripping the worn leather of her notebook. It was her favorite spot, a quiet corner of the park, surrounded by trees that whispered secrets with the wind. She often came here to sketch or write, but today was different. Today, she was practicing courage. It had started 2 weeks ago when she first saw him. He jogged past her every morning, his headphones in and a focused expression on his face. She'd noticed the way his dark hair flopped slightly as he ran, and how he always stopped at the fountain to stretch before leaving the park. Something about him fascinated her, the ease in his movements, the quiet confidence he exuded. And so Sarah made a promise to herself, she would talk to him. The first week, she only managed shy glances. By the second week, she had smiled at him once, though he hadn't noticed. Now, as he rounded the corner and slowed his jog near the fountain, her heart pounded. It was time. Taking a deep breath, Sarah closed her notebook and stood up. Her legs felt unsteady, but she forced herself to move toward him. He was leaning down to tie his shoe when she spoke. "Hi," she said, her voice softer than she'd intended. He looked up, and for a moment, the world seemed to freeze. His eyes were a warm shade of brown, and they crinkled slightly at the corners as he smiled. "Hi," Sarah swallowed. "I see you here a lot, and I just thought, I thought I'd say hello." His smile widened. "I'm Alex, and you are?" "Sarah. Nice to meet you, Sarah." He straightened up, slinging his water bottle over his shoulder. "I was starting to wonder if you'd ever say something." Her cheeks flushed. "You noticed me? How could I not? You're always here, writing or drawing." "I was just waiting for the right moment to introduce myself." He laughed lightly. "Looks like you beat me to it." Sarah relaxed, her nervousness giving way to excitement. They talked for a while, about running, art, and favorite places in the city. When Alex finally had to leave, he hesitated before asking, "Would you like to get coffee sometime?" "I'd love to," Sarah said, her smile matching his. They exchanged numbers, and over the next few days, their conversations grew longer. Texts turned into late-night calls, and coffee dates turned into dinner outings. Each encounter felt more natural, more effortless, as though they had known each other for years. One evening, as they walked along the riverside, Alex reached for her hand. Sarah felt her heart flutter but didn't pull away. The moonlight shimmered on the water, and for the first time, she felt completely at ease. "You know," Alex said, "I was never much of a runner until I saw you at the park. You inspired me to keep coming back." Sarah laughed softly. "And I spent weeks trying to find the courage to talk to you. I guess we both needed a little push." He squeezed her hand. "I'm glad we found each other." Their love grew steadily, grounded in shared moments and honest conversations. Sarah continued sketching in her notebook, often capturing glimpses of Alex and her art. He, in turn, encouraged her to pursue her dreams, becoming her biggest supporter. Months passed, and the park bench where they first met became a symbol of their beginning. They returned there often, sometimes in silence, simply enjoying each other's company. One sunny afternoon, as they sat on the bench, Alex pulled out a small box and knelt in front of her. "Sarah, you taught me what it means to take a chance. Will you take one more with me? Will you marry me?" Tears filled her eyes as she nodded. "Yes." And as Alex slipped the ring onto her finger, Sarah knew she hadn't just practiced courage. She had practiced falling in love, and this time, it was forever.